In so many of the kitchen renovations we do today, we often change the footprint of the kitchen or the layout of the kitchen. In this case, the homeowners actually decided to keep the layout of this kitchen, and we decided to work around that.
So we know that it looks good, but how good does it cook? Well, we're going to take this thing on a test drive right now and see how well it goes. I have a real treat for you. I have Dr. Magna Thakdu, who is here with us today. And not only are we going to do an incredible dish, but there are some healthful, healing, and I would almost say body alignment benefits to this.
We've got something we're going to prepare today that's called mung dal soup.
Okay.
So that's very good for the digestive system. The mung beans, they're actually the most digestible bean in Ayurvedic cooking because
Really?
they're small in size.
Well, I want to get started. How about if we meet over at the range and I want to see how you put this together.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so we're over at the stove now, and we've got some fat cooking in the pan. Traditionally in Middle Eastern cooking, you'll see something called ghee, which is essentially clarified butter. It's brought to a high temperature and all the milk solids are pulled out, and that raises the smoke point so it doesn't burn. But we can, you're using?
I'm using olive oil.
Olive oil, so it could be any oil. It doesn't have to be this exotic ingredient.
Exactly.
Now you're gonna start doing something that might seem a little weird to Western audiences. You're adding spices to the fat instead of the finished sauce or the product.
Right, because we want to enhance the flavor of the oil, which is then what we'll put the mung beans into. All right, adding the cilantro in here.
I've got to tell you, this looks unbelievable.
We finished the mung dal soup here with a little bit of the turmeric, which got the bitter taste, and it gives a color to the soup. We also finished it with some gore, which is sweet in nature. So we got to add a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of salt to taste, lemon, and some ginger.
I have to tell you, this is outstanding. Now, you were explaining to me that there's 5 elements.
Right, there's water, earth, fire, air, and ether, or space. And these 5 elements, they've understood them in the universe, and they exist all around us.
Sure.
So they must exist within us too.
That makes sense.
Into 3 doshas, vata, pitta, and kapha. Okay, these are all Sanskrit words.
Okay.
Vata is more air, so that just means it's a body constitution that has more air in it.
Okay.
Pitta, they're made up of more fire element.
Okay.
So they've got a little more heat to them. Kapha is more earth and water. Interesting enough, the mung dal soup is actually what we call tri-doshic.
Okay.
So it's good for all doshas.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
You know, but if you added more garlic to it, then a pitta person wouldn't want to eat as much.
And you would explain all of this,
exactly,
right?
it's too heating then. But cilantro cools it. So there's different elements that will balance certain doshas. I'll give you a little hint. Vata's sweet is going to be the most balancing taste.
Okay.
When you have more air, you want more grounding.
Okay.
Pittas, they've got the fire, so you want more cooling foods.
Okay.
Okay.
And cooling would be like the cilantro?
Cilantro, exactly. Watermelon as a fruit is very cooling.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you can think of all the different foods and kind of take the elements that they give you.
Okay,
and
so
kaphas, we didn't say kaphas.
Oh, we didn't? Okay.
Kaphas would need more pungent because they're more earth, they're grounded people.
Okay.
So they need a little more pungent foods, spicy foods is another word for it.
Okay. I'm going to take my dosha and go shopping. We'll be back in just a moment, and we're going to find out about this amazing kitchen we've been cooking in.
Ayurzona is an integrative wellness center which integrates the ancient wisdom of Eastern medicine with modern medicine. And that gives the capacity for healing at a much deeper level, both the mind, body, and the spiritual connection. The specialty treatments are Ayurvedically based, and those are called Abhyanga, Shirodhara, and Pinda Swedna. And Abhyanga is a 2-person warm oil massage which opens up the channels to receive oil which has deep healing properties. And the Shirodhara is the pouring of the warm oil on the third eye, which allows for the pineal gland to begin to raise the immune system of the body. So in today's recipe, we used olive oil because it's tri-doshic, but depending on your doshas, we can use other oils. So for a Vata person, you want to use sesame oil because it's warm. For a Pitta person, you want to use coconut oil because it's cooling. For a Kapha person, you want to use mustard oil because it's heating. So it depends on really the constitution of the person. So we're going to have an Ayurvedic cafe that's the first of its kind in Arizona, and we're really proud to be catering right in Old Town Scottsdale.
Let's talk about the looks of the kitchen. On a designer's perspective, aesthetically speaking, this kitchen flows quite nice.
Yes.
And what was interesting is just by moving the appliances alone, we created a whole new look and feel for this kitchen.
We've created something that I call the golden triangle of the kitchen. And the golden triangle is, there's my refrigerator, there's my sink, there's my oven. So I'm not wasting a lot of spaces. And a lot of these older kitchens that were made like 10, 20 years ago, the kitchens were sprawling, and that was the look, but they weren't that practical.
And another thing I'd like to point out about this island itself is the fact that we were salvaging the existing granite. So by taking that cooktop out, we had this gaping hole. And I am just so impressed with the design team and the creativity that went into putting this butcher block in. And again, salvaging the island, salvaging the granite, and making this a workable, functional piece.
You know what? If you're still in a kitchen that's unfunctional for you, you're not alone. We have plenty of recipes, ideas, designs, secrets, tricks on our website. So check it out at finewineanddesign.com.
Up next, kitchen number 2. Don't go away.